Welcome to UGC NET Educator. Today, we begin our journey into the earliest period of English literature, the Anglo-Saxon period. This period extends approximately from 450 AD to 1066 AD, ending with the Norman conquest. It is regarded as the foundation of English literature because many of the earliest surviving literary works were produced during this time. The language of this period was Old English, which is very different from the English we speak today. In fact, modern readers usually need a translation to understand it. Anglo-Saxon literature originated as an oral tradition. Stories and poems were first memorized and performed by professional poets called scopes, before they were eventually written down by Christian monks. The most famous work of this period is Beowulf, the oldest surviving epic poem in English. Its themes are heroism, loyalty, faith, religion, and the struggle between good and evil, which reflects the beliefs and values of Anglo-Saxon society. Understanding this period is essential because it marks the beginning of a literary tradition that would later produce writers such as Geoffrey Chaucer, William Shakespeare, and John Milton. Now that we have understood the time period, the next question is, who exactly were Anglo-Saxons? The Anglo-Saxons were not a single tribe. They were three Germanic tribes: the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes. They originally come from regions that are today part of northern Germany and Denmark. Around the middle of the 15th century, after the Romans withdrew from Britain, these tribes crossed the north and gradually settled across different parts of the island. The Angles settled mainly in the northern and eastern region of Britain. In fact, the name England is believed to have been derived from the word Engleland, meaning the land of the Angles. The Saxons occupied much of the southern and central part of Britain, while the Jutes mainly settled in region that later became known as Kent. Initially, these tribes followed pagan religious beliefs and worshipped several gods. Later, with the arrival of Christianity, many of them converted to Christian faith. The mixture of pagan and Christian traditions would become one of the defining characteristics of Anglo-Saxon literature. Most importantly, these settlers laid the foundation of early English civilization. Their language developed into Old English, their customs shaped English society, and their stories eventually became the earliest surviving works of English literature. Now that we have understood who the Anglo-Saxons were and how they lived, it is time to explore the greatest masterpiece of this period, Beowulf. Beowulf is not only the oldest surviving epic poem in the English language, but it is also one of the greatest heroic epics in the world literature. Although the poem was written down around the 8th to 11th century by a Christian monk, its story reflects the much older oral tradition of the Anglo-Saxons. The poem is set in Scandinavia, not England, and tells the story of Beowulf, a brave warrior from the land of Cates in present-day Sweden. At this time, the Danish king Orthager had built a magnificent mead hall called Herot, where his warriors gathered to celebrate the victories, but their happiness did not last for long. For UGC NET, it is important to remember the name of Herot Hall. Every night, a terrifying monster named Grendel emerged from the darkness, filled with hatred. He attacked Herot, killing and devouring the king's warriors. Fear spread throughout the kingdom, and for 12 long years, no one was able to stop him. When Beowulf heard about the suffering of the Danes, he decided to sail across the sea with his loyal companions. His purpose was simple: to defeat the monster and restore peace to the kingdom. But who was Grendel? And why did he terrorize Herod? Let's find out. Before Beowulf ever arrived in Denmark, King Hothager's magnificent mead hall, Herod had become a place of horror. Every night when the warrior finished their feast and fell asleep, a terrifying monster named Grendel emerged from the darkness. The poem describes Grendel as a descendant of Cain, the biblical figure who murdered his own brother Abel. This connection symbolizes Grendel as the embodiment of evil, exile, and hatred. Grendel could not bear the sound of laughter, music, or celebration inside Herod. Consumed by jealousy and rage, he stormed into the hall under the cover of night, killing the sleeping warriors and carrying their bodies away. His attacks continued night after night. The bravest Danish warriors tried to stop him, but no ordinary weapon could defeat the monster. Fear spread throughout the kingdom, and Herod, once a symbol of joy and unity, becomes the place that everyone dreaded. For 12 long years, King Hothager and his people suffered in helplessness. It seemed that no human being could end Grendel's region of terror. But far across the sea, news of this terrible monster reached the ears of a young warrior named Beowulf. Instead of being afraid, he saw this as an opportunity to prove his courage and help a king in need. Beowulf carefully selected 14 of his bravest warriors, and together they set sail across the North Sea for Denmark. Their mission was not to conquer new lands or seek treasure. Instead, they traveled to face a monster that no one had been able to defeat. After a long sea voyage, the warriors reached the Danish coast. The guards surprised to see such a well-armed group. Questioning their purpose, Beowulf confidently introduced himself and explained that he had come to free King Hothager's kingdom from Grendel's region of terror. The guards escorted Beowulf and his companions to the great hall of Herod, where King Hothager welcomed them with gratitude and hope. For the first time in many years, the Danish believed that someone will finally be able to defeat the monster. But Beowulf had a surprise plan. He declared that he would fight Grendel without using any weapons, relying only on his own strength, because he believed it would be unfair to use a sword against a creature that fought with its bare hands. That night, Beowulf and his warriors prepared themselves inside Herod, waiting silently for Grendel to arrive. As night fell over Herod, an eerie silence filled the great hall. The warriors lay still, pretending to be asleep, while Beowulf remained awake, patiently waiting for the monster to appear. Outside, darkness covered the land. Then, just as he had done for many years, Grendel approached the hall, confident that no one could stop him. He forced open the heavy doors of Herod and stepped inside. Seeing the sleeping warriors, Grendel believed this would be another easy attack. He immediately seized one of the Beowulf companions and killed him before anyone could react. But this time, there was one warrior who was not asleep. As Grendel reached for his next victim, Beowulf suddenly sprang to his feet and grabbed the monster's arm. With an iron-like grip, Grendel was shocked. Never before had he encountered a man with such incredible strength. The hall echoed with the sound of their fierce struggle. The two opponents wrestled violently, shaking the walls of Herod. Tables crashed to the ground, and the terrified warriors watched as the greatest battle of their time unfolded before their eyes. For the first time in 12 years, Grendel realized that he had finally met an opponent who was stronger than he was. Prince Grendel struggles desperately to escape, but Beowulf refuses to let go. His grip is so powerful that for the first time in his life, the monster actually feels fear. The walls of Heorot shake. The warriors were shocked. And finally, the turning point comes. Beowulf tears Grendel's arm from his body. Grendel lets out a terrible scream that echoes through the hall. Bleeding heavily, he flees into the dark marshes, knowing that his end is near. By the next morning, the impossible has happened. The monster who has filled an entire kingdom with fear has been defeated. King Hothagar and his people celebrated Beowulf as a true hero. The torn arm is hung inside Heorot as the proof that Grendel's region of terror is over. But if you think the story ends here, you are mistaken. Grendel's death has awakened someone even more dangerous, his mother. And unlike Grendel, she is coming not for food, but for revenge. Just as everyone believed, the nightmare was finally over. A new danger emerged. Grendel's mother was devastated by the death of her son. But instead of mourning quietly, she wanted revenge. One night she attacked Heorot, killed one of King Hothagar's most trusted warriors, and disappeared into the darkness. The celebration had turned into fear once again. At this point, Beowulf made a bold decision. He wasn't going to wait for the monster to return. Instead, he decided to hunt her down. He followed her trail to a mysterious lake. Without hesitation, he dived into the deep dark water, knowing that this battle could cost him his life. Deep beneath the lake, inside her underwater cave, Beowulf faced Grendel's mother in a fierce fight. This time she proved to be an even stronger opponent than Grendel. His own sword failed him. For a moment, it seemed that Beowulf might finally be defeated, but then he noticed a giant sword hanging on the wall of the cave. Gathering all his strength, he seized the weapon and struck Grendel's mother with a single powerful blow, defeating her once and for all. Before leaving, Beowulf also found Grendel's lifeless body and cut off his head. He returned to King Hothagar's kingdom as a true hero. Peace had finally been restored, and Beowulf's name would now be remembered across generations. But this isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning of his legend. Many years passed after Beowulf defeated Grendel and Grendel's mother. His courage and wisdom eventually made him the king of the Geats, and he ruled his people peacefully for 50 years. But every great hero faced one final challenge. An angry dragon began attacking Beowulf's kingdom. After a treasure hidden in the cave was disturbed, even in his old age, Beowulf refused to let others fight in his place. He believed that a true king must protect his people, no matter the cost. During the battle, the dragon was incredibly powerful. Most of Beowulf's warriors fled in fear. Only one young warrior, Beowulf, stayed by his side and fought with him until the very end. Together they killed the dragon, but Beowulf was mortally wounded. Before taking his last breath, he looked upon the treasure saved for his people, and he knew that his duty as a king has been fulfilled. His people honored him with a magnificent funeral and built a great burial mound overlooking the sea, so that the sailors would always remember the greatest hero of their age. So this marks the end of the story. Remember that Beowulf is the oldest surviving English epic, and it was found in the manuscript Novel Codex, which is also known as Beowulf manuscript. Thank you for watching. See you in another video.